Okay, yes. All right, we live. We good. Okay, yes. All right, we live. We good. Okay. I think I want to cam down. I think I want to cam down for this one. Okay. Tonight I was verbally assaulted. Um, I was beaten up. Um, I was jumped. I was attacked. I was violated. Okay. And I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I have officially been made a victim. Um, and I'm here to express my pain of being a victim. You know, somebody go get Ken. I'm gonna need Ken for this one. Ken, if you out there, Ken, it's early in the morning. It's like 4 o'clock. It's like 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Ken, I was strolling around these YouTube streets, and I was in Lemon's Discord, and I got jumped, bro. I got jumped. Lemon wasn't there though. Like Lemon left. He probably fell asleep or something, and he was asleep inside the house. And I was in the backyard, and next thing I know, man, I got jumped, bro. I got jumped. I got jumped. I was lucky to make it out of there. You know, they took my shoes. They took my wallet. Um, they let me keep my glasses. Um, and I'm coming up here live to say I'm a victim. I understand what it is to be a victim, and I am a victim. Okay, I'm even terrified right now live because I'm scared to say shit. I don't want to get beat up no more. I don't want to be beat up no more. Um, you know, um, Obviously I said too much, and I got my ass whooped for saying too much. Ken, you know, I kept asking what did I say as they was hitting me, but they just wouldn't respond. They just wouldn't respond. And even when it was said some things that I didn't say, it was a lot of shit that I didn't say, and I said, well, wait a minute, I didn't say that, and it didn't matter, you know. Right after I said I didn't say that, and I had proof that I didn't say that, you know, as soon as I pulled the proof out, they took a baseball bat and knocked the proof like right out my hand, and just broke my tablet. It broke my shit. I said I got proof. They was like, "Fuck your proof," and it was like, boom. I was literally in fear for my life. I've never been that scared ever in my life. You know, Real gang shit going on the West Coast. You know, a lot of gangs over there. But I'm still going to stand on my word that I didn't say anything disrespectful to the gang. Nope, I didn't. I did not say anything. People were saying that I said names. I said that I have proof that I didn't say anybody's name. That is not true at all. But you can't convince the gang of that. Nope. One of the gang members told the other gang member, Vic said it. And I said, I didn't say that. Matter of fact, it's recorded. Let's just play it. Let's just play it so we can hear that I didn't say that. But I understand, when you're in a gang, right? The gang member's word is going to be over the outsider's word, right? Even when the outsider's telling the truth. It's like, well, I guess, it don't matter. The truth don't matter, you know? The truth don't matter, okay? But there was an insinuation that I was trying to be in a gang. No, I don't. I'm not a gang member. I grew up around gangs, and I didn't join them even when I saw them. So yeah, there was this misunderstanding, clearly misunderstanding that I wanted to be inside of a gang. No, never been my style. Okay, because to be in a gang, you got to rock gang colors. You know, I prefer to be an individual and stand on my own. you know, when people come around you and they say things like, "Well, I don't like what you said," and you ask them, "Well, what did I say?" And they say, "Well, it don't matter what you said." Well, wait, that's why you were angry in the first place, right? So you can't even repeat what I said, but you're coming at me saying I don't like what you said. I'm asking you what did I say, and you can't repeat it. Mm. So then when I say, well, hold up, I know where I was. I know exactly where I was, and I know what I said. Matter of fact, let's play what I said. Oh, you don't want to play it? You don't want to hear it? So at this point, how can I be convinced that I was wrong? You're trying to convince me if I'm wrong. And there's evidence on the table, and you don't want to see the evidence? Mm. You don't have to like me, but you don't have to lie on me either. See, just because I don't like somebody, I don't like make up shit on them. Because at that point I mean, you become a liar. And then when people start to support the lie, it becomes a gang. That's when it becomes a gang. When people support the lie, you look at the supporters of the lie and you say, well, damn, it's bad enough this one person is telling a bold faced lie, but y'all are gonna back the lie. We're gonna support it. We're gonna make the lie into a realistic thing. Mm, okay. In situations like this, right? You can't get angry at situations like this. If you um, are being lied on, or if you're being uh, uh, jumped, as the term is labeled, um, you have to stand your ground. It is a little, like, I guess, disheartening, and it's a little sad and disappointing when you find out that the people are so much that they dislike you so much that they are willing to lie on you, willing to come around and uh, support the lie. Okay. um, when it happens to you, right? I guess the best advice I could give you is, don't try to um, prove anything that isn't going to matter anyway, because these people that lie on you, okay, they think so little of you. These people think so little of you. Um, you know that you're worthy to be lied on. You're that irrelevant. You're so irrelevant that um you know making a lie up on you doesn't affect the liar that's telling the lie. The person that's telling the lie, um they'll be praised. They'll be praised. And you have to just roll with that. Don't sit there and um try to disprove the liar, because the liar has a support system. So what's the point, right? You got to know how to play the chess game, and you got to play to win. You got to play to win. Win the game. You feel me? You win the game. These people, they can start shit behind other people's backs. You feel me? You feel me? Oh, okay. I just want to make sure I had good sound. You know? And they might come back and be like, oh, they sound hurt. But see, that's a part of, all of that is a part of building on the lie. I start the lie, and then I create a narrative off that lie. And if I get enough people, right, to stand in the narrative, then that lie becomes reality. Boy, the lies I heard on me tonight. Okay? Shame the devil. The lies that I heard on me tonight, I won't even repeat them. I don't have to, because at the end of the day, right? Like, I genuinely supported these people. These people that lied on me, I genuinely had, like, respect for these people, you know, and it's my bad, right? It's my fault. It's not. It got nothing to do with them. You feel me? The people that lied on me tonight, I literally had respect for these people. I looked at them as high regard. You feel me? So it threw me, like, so far off, and I was like, damn. Okay, like, at first, you know, them lying on me, like, didn't bother me, but then when it got down to truth time, and it's like, okay, I have 100% proof that none of this is true. I gave everybody the floor. I let them all attack me. I let them all jump me. All right, go ahead, have at it. Your turn. Your turn. Your turn. Okay. All right. Okay. Now, is it my turn? Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, look, I got this video. It's gonna clear everything up. Oh no, we're not even looking. Mm. So at that moment, right? At that moment, recognize where you are. Recognize where you are. When you come and people are lying on you, and you say, "Hey, I got proof that this ain't true," and they turn around and they say, "Oh no, 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 no evidence." Hey, just reevaluate. Just reevaluate. Now it might bother you and be like, "Damn, I would never tell lies on these people. I don't have like no hatred in my heart. I don't have no dislike for nobody, you know." And one of the things I can say tonight is one of these individuals wanted me to go live. They wanted me to turn this into some form of content. So maybe I am in a way, right? But this is my channel, so I get to say what the fuck I want to. Nobody tells me what to do ever. So, um, but again, I'm not. I'm like these people. I still have some respect for. So that's why I'm not saying no names. And they said I said names. And I I think the only thing I did say in this live stream was, yeah, where I got jumped. So the whole getting jumped in Lemon's Discord, that really don't have anything to do with Lemon. Lemon wasn't there. Even if he was there, it wasn't like, um, I'm not going to call these women out of their names, because that's just not the individual that I am. Even like if I have a disagreement with women, I don't have to call them out of their name. I don't have to disrespect them like that. Okay? And like, to even go there with another woman, black or white, it wouldn't matter. Um, she would have to be doing something horrific for me to take it there. Something I've seen, something I would have to see, horrible. But, again, I don't, um, record conversations. I don't record um, discords, or I don't do any of those things, because it's not a benefit to me. Maybe it's a benefit to others. Okay, but that don't benefit me. And people think that, when you come to YouTube, oh, you want access to this, you want access to that. And it's so disheartening and somewhat insulting when you just assume that you know what somebody wants, when you just assume things, you know so there's a lot of hoopla, right, about me being on Envy's panel and speaking on something that happened on Envy's panel. Well, that my like I said, that video, that audio will be forever aged in stone. There's audio prior to that. Okay, there's audio prior to that, and that's on the homies Lemons page. That's on Lemons page. You feel me? That's on Lemons page. So what I don't have to do is you know, prove myself to people that don't like me. Once I have figured out, because it's not even about me trying to get people to like me, right? Because either you gonna like me or you don't. But once I know for a fact, okay, that oh yeah, this person to cut my throat. Let me move to the left. I didn't do nothing to him, but let me move to the left. Let me move to the left. Okay. But what I won't do, right? What I won't do is I won't respect a woman that don't respect me. If I greet you with respect and you come at me with disrespect, and keep in mind I got tough skin, so the disrespect got to be like real high, right? It's like I think highly of some of these content creators, and I be making the biggest mistake of my life when I do that. And that is my burden to bear, because I look at all of these black women sometimes, and I try to look at them in an image of like respect, like the same way I respect my wife. I try to give these women the same type of respect, right? But you know, um, there are women out here that are just like the women that Tommy talk about. Not all women are the same. Not all women are black queens. Do you feel me? Not all women are black queens. And I can give that respect out to a black woman that has no crown. And I get burned every single time when I make that mistake. And that's my mistake. It ain't her mistake. You feel me? It be my mistake. So I eat that. You feel me? I'll eat that. I'll just say, damn, let me reevaluate. I'm not gonna wild out on this woman. I'm not gonna cuss out. I'm not gonna do what they want me to do, right? Because if I was to come up and start, pointing fingers and naming names and this and the other, then they could go back and say, "Oh, see, I told you this nigga was like that. I told you he was the nigga that was gonna be the one coming out saying all." Yeah, man. It's so sad. Like some of these people know me and some of them don't. They really think they could pull one on me after all of these years. It makes no sense. Okay, people coming at me over shit that I didn't even know. Okay, they coming at me over shit that I didn't even know existed. They saying I wanted to be a part of shit that I didn't even know existed. I I said, how is that even possible? How can you be upset about some shit that you didn't even know? How can you be jealous of some shit that you didn't even know existed? It's like we gotta reevaluate. You feel me? I know I'm making common sense, but your hatred for me is so great that we'll throw common sense out the window. Hell, we'll make this story up, right? We'll get people involved. We'll get people involved with the story. You feel me? We'll spread it around like wildfire so we can make VicDamoane look some type of way. Okay, have at it, man. I ain't gonna stop none of y'all. I mean, real talk. I ain't stopping none of y'all. Y'all got every right to take a lie, okay? Add to it, subtract it, multiply it, divide it. You know, I ain't stopping none of y'all. Real talk. Okay? Trust me, when y'all decide to reveal this great lie, um, just remember I said it was a lie. So, okay, you know, later on that they'll make up some shit and they'll add to this lie and say, oh yeah, VicDamoane said this name, VicDamoane said that name. Yeah, he said that name. How dare he say those names? You know, continue on. Continue on. Add just add a little more. Add a little more. You know. Y'all just know I'm not in control. I'm not in control of the lie. Okay? The lie is in somebody else's hands. So, you know, but based off the lie, you know, let it be known that I'm a snake from the lie. You feel me? Because like once the lie was told, you know, we tell a lie and then we build on the lie. Okay? So the conclusion of the lie is, ooh, victim owns a snake. He's such a snake. Hmm. The lie is always better than the truth, people. Just remember that, man. The lie is always better than the truth. Okay? We got video evidence of what was said, but we're going to go with what somebody else said. You know? That's what we doing. If anybody asks to play back what I said, we want to reject that. Okay? Throw that idea away. Okay? All we need is a panel of motherfuckers that'll just make it up. We don't need the truth. Fuck that. We don't need the video playback. We are just going to go to a panel, right? And tell everybody what Vic Damone said without playing what he said. You see? We don't want to play what he said. We want to just say what he said to fuck everything else. Okay? Now this ain't nothing new, right? This has been going on in all sectors of YouTube for years. So I am no exception to the rule. You understand? I'm no exception to the rule. Hello, Gorilla. Okay. But I believe the lie is an attempt to get me back in the game. Yeah. I mean, thanks for the offer, but I think I'll pass. You know, I think I'll pass. You know, it'll just I just understand who I'm dealing with when it comes to people um, not liking me. You know, I mean, like I said, you know, I'm not trying to get anybody to like me. I ain't trying to get anybody to do shit. But yeah, it's just the people um that make shit up on me and the people that support that. You know, I have no need to be around you, right? Because I had respect where you didn't. So yeah, that was my mistake. You feel me? I had respect in areas where I wasn't getting none. So yeah, that was my fault. You feel me? That was my fault. Now that don't mean um just because I know now that you don't respect me that I'm supposed to disrespect you, because maybe that's your idea of what a man is, but in my opinion, that's just you being a feminist. Feminists think that way. That's why I said I'm not bothered. I'm not angry. Y'all women. Some of y'all women got a feminist mindset. You think you know a man, right? But you really don't know shit about men, right? Okay, any female that owns a male dog knows that male dog is the most loyal fucking animal like they could ever own. Right? If men are dogs, there are so many women that own male dogs, and they know that their male dog will kill another motherfucker coming up to their house. They gotta put that nigga up. Strangers come around, they got their male dog, and they a woman. The fuck y'all know about loyalty? Now, to call me a snake, all right. Snakes don't have ears. So I'm not gonna sit around and listen to somebody lie on me, right? I don't hear your lies. You right. Okay? But I just think we too old to be making shit up on people. You know? I thought we were better than that. You know? Like I'm 47 and y'all niggas in y'all 40s making shit up. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. Okay? That's crazy, man. Oh yeah. What up though to the couple people in here, man. Yeah, man. Like I said, y'all, I was in Lemon's Discord. That's Lemon's house. Uh uh, he stepped out and I think he fell asleep. And I was in Lemon's backyard, and next thing I know, I was getting jumped, man. They beat me up. They took my watch, they took my shoes, they took my socks. Um, yeah, they beat me up. Mm-hmm. Yep, sure did. I am a victim. Okay, I am not. I can't tell y'all no names because I am truly in fear of my life. My life is in danger. I don't want to get beat up again because y'all motherfuckers ain't gonna be there to save me. Okay? I went over there by myself. Um, you know, next thing I know, I got hit with a bottle. I mean, just all types of shit happened to me in Lemons Discord. Okay? Tried to hop over the fence. They grabbed me and pulled me back over. So I'm just making this video. If anything happened to me, all right, Y'all call the police, okay? Y'all call the cops. If anything happened to me, call 911 and say the last place Vic was at was in Lemon's Discord. We ain't seen him since. Mm-hmm. Did a whole number on me. I was like, damn, for what? And what made it so bad was, it was like from people that I actually spoke highly of, you know. That's what kind of slapped me in the face, you know. You speak highly on people that diss you, you know. It just don't affect me like it used to because, I'm not out here trying to get 600-700 people in the room. I'm not chasing likes and subscribers. I'm not monetized. I'm not even focused on this shit like that, man. Not like I used to be. But okay, you know. Okay. Now, there's supposed to be this thing where, you know, you're not supposed to bring up stuff that happened on Discord. But what happens when you get attacked on Discord? What happens when you get jumped on Discord? How do you not talk about that? Like, we gonna jump your ass and you better not say nothing. Like, what? Okay? That's what makes my ass 47. No, I'm calling the cops on you niggas. I'm calling the police. What the fuck? All that y'all jumping niggas, right? Y'all jumping niggas and not saying nothing. That must be a West Coast thing, because over in the East Coast, nigga, you going to jail. How about that? Maybe y'all get away with that shit on the West Coast. You don't get away with that shit on the East Coast. Why do you think Charleston White exists? Hmm? Why do you think you got Takashi 6ix9ine? He wasn't from the West Coast. Ain't really no West Coast snitching, period. You don't see that many people snitching on the West Coast. Because they're getting fed time. Okay? They find out niggas snitching like 30 years later. Time you find out a nigga a snitch, he an old man, practically irrelevant. They talk about Whack 100 snitch. Notice they ain't bring that shit up till he was in his late 40s, goddammit. They ain't bring that shit up when he was in his 20s. Talk about nigga in 1987. Okay? Okay? again, you know, I ain't got no hatred in my heart for no female, right? And I'm not fitting to start, you know, hating on women today. You know, I'm gonna give y'all that. Y'all can have that. You know, I ain't trying to join no gangs. Okay, I'm a little too old for that. You know, what up, though, bro? You know, I don't need to be in no virtual gang. Um, and I apologize if I gave you gang members the impression that I wanted into your gang. All right, let me apologize because it seems like some of y'all gang members, y'all really thought I wanted to join the gang, even though I never sent the text message saying I wanted to join the gang. Okay, I never sent an email or didn't go into a panel. Okay, but I got my own gang. All right, so I wasn't trying to join two gangs at one time because I know that's a violation. Okay, that's a violation of gang code. Can't be like a blood and a crip at the same time. It's gonna end up bad for you. It's gonna end up bad for you. Okay, man, I can't throw nothing up, man. I got jumped. I got jumped by a girl gang. Girl gang, bro. They jumped me, bro. It's like I don't know. Um, I think it's about like four of them. I only got two hands, man. I only got two hands. And next thing I know, I was getting hit, 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 hit. I tried to put my hand up and block one of the punches, and then the other girl grabbed my arm, snatched that motherfucker down. The other girl just kept punching me, bro. And then another one came and took my shoes right off my feet. And I'm like, yo, what's going on? They was like, yo, you was speaking bad on one of the gang members. And I was like, no, I didn't. Boom. Next thing you know, I got hit. Soon as I said, no, I didn't. Boom. I'm like, hold on. Who said that I said something about the gang member? Then they pointed to the other gang member. I said, hold up, man. That gang member ain't telling y'all. Boom. Got hit again. I got proof. I got the video. I got video evidence. Boom. Got hit again. I said, oh, man. I just got beat up by a gang over some shit that I didn't even say. I said, damn, that's cold blooded right there, man. That's cold blooded. But that's how gangs do. You know, a gang member will just say some shit and be like, yo, this motherfucker disrespecting the set. You be like, what? Do. I just got tore the fuck down. Yep. That's a gang for you, man. That is a gang. Okay. Now you would think as old as I am, I should be able to recognize a gang when I see one, but shit, this gang snuck up on me. Okay? This gang snuck up on my black ass. I'm telling y'all. I said, damn. Okay? Jim, I just got jumped, bro. You talking about put some goddamn laundry away. You put it away, nigga. God damn it. I just got assaulted, nigga. I got assaulted like Tommy, nigga. I was assaulted. Okay? I'm sitting here fucking hurt. You talking about some goddamn laundry. See what I mean about caring. Okay? Motherfuckers don't care. I'm like, yo, I just got beat up by three women. Niggas like, oh, well. What did you do, nigga? What did you do to get beat up by three women? I didn't do nothing. Nigga, you did something. Swear to God, I didn't do nothing. Nigga, you did something. Okay? Well, look, y'all, I'm finna crash out. Okay? Um, I'm gonna wait on the ambulance and the people, come to virtual ambulance. I gotta re-download GTA. Okay? Re-download this shit. But I'm gonna crash out, man. I'm gonna get me some sleep, right? And then I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna come back, banging on this bitch. You dig? It's your boy BigDamoane. Okay? Never prove yourself to people that, already had their agenda laid out for you anyway. Deuces.